The Scottish First Minister received the stark warning from cross-party Unionist campaign group Scottish Business UK, on the 4th anniversary of the Scottish independence referendum in 2014, which resulted in the country not winning independence from the rest of the UK. The campaign group warned the SNP leader that damaging Scotland's trade with the rest of the UK would be far greater than the potential losses that the UK could face as a result of exiting the European Union (EU) in March next year. Scottish Business UK said employers would struggle under the pressure of added uncertainty as tensions grow over the fate of the UK post-Brexit in a new report published on Tuesday. The report, titled Win-Win: The Business Case for Scotland's Place in the UK, said Scotland's independence would be more disastrous than a doomsday Brexit scenario, as the country would lose additional government spending per head under the Barnett formula. Sturgeon received a stark warning from a cross-party Unionist group to ditch independence. Image::Getty. The report also highlighted figures that showed trade between Scotland and other parts of the UK was 3 times more valuable as Scotland's trade with the EU. Scottish Business UK founder Robert Kilger said, "Scottish businesses and the economy has gone through an extended period of uncertainty, and that is destabilizing our opportunity to grow and, crucially, to secure inward investment. The negative impact of the continuing uncertainty is a message I hear regularly from investors who turn to other countries or regions, in England, to give their investments a more stable base from which to grow." The campaign group's chief executive, former MEP Struan Stevenson, backed up the independent report and called for the government to abandon the pursuit of another referendum. Mr. Stevenson said, "We are 4 years from the last referendum on independence for Scotland, which was not supported, yet the spectre of a further referendum remains ever present. We're calling on the Scottish Government to abandon the demand for another referendum and focus more on reigniting the Scottish economy, so we once again become a credible investment opportunity, on a par with other parts of the UK." Opposition party Scottish Labour's economy spokeswoman, Jackie Bailey MSP, said, "This is yet more evidence of how damaging independence would be to our economy. As the SNP itself admitted in its Cuts Commission, independence would mean decades of austerity, tax rises and massive reductions in public spending. Ref 2 could see Scottish government funding cut drastically." Image::Getty. Nicola Sturgeon needs to stop putting nationalism before the NHS, schools and jobs. She should drop her plans for an unwanted second independence referendum and instead try and start fixing the mess she has made of the economy and our schools and hospitals. But a spokesman for the Scottish National Party (SNP), who have consistently campaigned for Scottish independence, described the claims set by the Unionist group as ludicrous. He said, "They show just how rattled the Tories are. They know support for independence has never been so consistently high or sustained, and that Brexit may well be the point of no return. Leaving the EU and a single market 8 times bigger than the UK's alone threatens to be disastrous for Scotland, and the shambolic no-deal outcome the Tories are now preparing for would be utterly catastrophic." SNP and Scottish Labour are continuing to clash over independence from the rest of the UK. Image::Getty. Meanwhile, Scottish Constitution Secretary Mike Russell, the man in charge of Scotland's Brexit negotiations, accused Theresa May of misleading voters on the prospects for her Chequers plan, claiming EU leaders have already dismissed the UK government's proposals. Mr. Russell said Theresa May must use the upcoming EU summit in Salzburg this week to rule out both a blind and a no-deal Brexit. Speaking ahead of an address to business leaders in Edinburgh on Tuesday, Mr. Russell said, 4 years ago today, the people of Scotland voted on our nation's future and were then told we were to be treated as equal partners in the UK. Absolutely nothing that has happened since has lived up to that pledge, with Brexit making it clearer by the day that Westminster is incapable of working in Scotland's national interests."